On everybody, this is Intermission Reviews here, and today we are going to be going over some of the categories from this year's Golden Globe Awards. Now, I know I am late to this discussion right here, but I have been busy working on some other projects, and I want to really digest my thoughts on all these categories right here. So, yeah, let's start here with the Best Original Song, Shallow from A Star Is Born. Absolutely love the song right here. I think it's very deep. It connects very well with audience members. I know it sort of connects well with me for sure. I remember when I went to go see this movie for the second time, and I showed it with my friends, and they absolutely adored the soundtrack. I know one of my friends especially downloaded it on his phone and even paid for it. So, you have a good soundtrack when people start actually paying for it. Now, I think some of the other songs like All the Stars and Revelation, they were really good too, but I think Shallow, given how it got like a lot of radio play, and given the fact that it's from Lady Gaga, there's a pretty good chance that you're gonna win, a top prize like a Golden Globe for sure. All right, then, moving on now to Best Original Score, we have Justin Hurwitz for First Man. Now, I'm glad First Man did get some good recognition for something at least, because I remember when it came to like mid-November, pretty much everyone kind of forgot about First Man in a sense, and that's a shame since that film is excellent, and it's one of Damien Chazelle's finer films. But yeah, Justin Hurwitz, he did the score for La La Land, and I think the Golden Globe and every publication loves him in a sense for his work. Now, I'm going to be a little picky here. I really do wish that Johnny Greenwood from You Were Never Really Here would have nominated and would have won the award, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers in a sense, I guess. All right, so next let's go on to Best Foreign Language. Now, the winner here was Roma, and I am absolutely amazed that this film won the award. It's been one of the best reviewed films of the year, one of my personal favorites, from the year end. I found it to be highly captivating, really emotional, and it's a wonder to watch. And it's on Netflix too, so there's really no excuse not to watch this film. But if you don't have a Netflix account, but if this film is showing on a theater near you, go check it out as soon as possible. It is a must-watch. Capernaum was also really good too. It didn't win, but again, you had Roma, which I think is the better film. Shoplifters was really good too. Go check that out as soon as you can. Okay, next let's get into Best Animated Film. Now, I was really surprised with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This film, I didn't think it would have much of a chance given how you had, the giants of Disney with The Incredibles 2, and you had Fox Searchlight with Isle of Dogs, backed by Wes Anderson. However, the animation and I think the story of Into the Spider-Verse really helped set a precedent for animation. How Sony Pictures Animation invented a new animation style just for this film. So I think that alone will give you, the best animation award for sure. And plus, a lot of audience members did love this film. So I think it would be a far cry not to say that this film had a big influence. The audience reception had a big influence on what the voters had in mind. All right, next for Best Screenplay. Kind of surprised here that Green Book won the award. But then again, Green Book has been tearing it up on the awards circuit as of lately. And this was a tight competition, honestly. All 5 of these films had pretty good screenplays in them, too. Especially Roma and If Beale Street Could Talk. But, it's a tight competition this year. I mean, when you're going to get to the Oscars this year, I think it's going to be pretty tight in the screenplay categories for both original and adapted. This is really, it's going to be a screenplay year for sure. All right, next let's get into Best Director. Happy that Alfonso Cuarón won this award. Very well deserved. In fact, all of the people that were nominated, all deserve praise here. Spike Lee, Adam McKay, Bradley Cooper, Peter Farrelly. But I think Cuarón had something special in him when directing Roma, and he most certainly deserved to win this award for sure. Now, getting into Best Supporting Actor, Mahershala Ali. Yeah, I could see him winning the award for sure. Although I do think that you had maybe slightly better performances out of like Timothée Chalamet or Richard E. Grant. But, hey, I'm still glad that Mahershala Ali is getting recognition for his work. I think he probably is going to get nominated for an Oscar at this point, maybe even win, but we will have to see down the road for sure. All right, best supporting actress Regina King. Yes, I am totally in 100% support of this. She did a phenomenal job in If Beale Street Could Talk. She absolutely stole the show here. So did everybody else in their films: Claire Foy, Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, Amy Adams. Again, another recognition bit for First Man here from Claire Foy. Now, this was another really tough competition to choose from, but I think Regina King, given how she won at the National Board of Review's Best Supporting Actress, I think it started her role. It's starting her role to be, a supporting actress, Titan. She's probably gonna get nominated for an Oscar for sure. All right, best comedy actor. We have Christian Bale from Vice, the guy who thanks Satan at his award show. Yeah, he deserved it here. So did Robert Redford. So did Viggo Mortensen. I haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns or Stan and Ollie yet, but maybe I will at some point. But I feel with John C. Reilly, I feel kind of bad for him because I feel like he was kind of a filler nomination in a sense. One of those nominations in which, all the publications don't really talk about you, but you need a fifth space to fill up an award category, so you just pick somebody from any random movie to fill up a spot. Again, haven't seen Stan and Ollie, but will at some point and give you my thoughts on it. But yeah, good job to Christian Bale. Best comedy actress, you had Olivia Colman for The Favorite. I was happy about that. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Emily Blunt would have won the award, but good job on Olivia Colman for her award. Probably going to get nominated for an Oscar. Haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians from Constance Wu, but will do at some point. Charlize Theron for a Telly. Elise Fisher, happy about that she got nominated for 8th Grade. Well, let's see how this race goes, honestly, for the Academy. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these ladies got nominated for some awards down the road. Romney Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. Haven't seen the film yet. I will get into what I think about the whole Bohemian Rhapsody situation again, because I have my thoughts to say for that. Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born. I was thinking he was going to win originally, but then again, Romney Malek got a lot of good praise for his performance. John David Washington, he did a fantastic job in BlacKkKlansman. He probably should have won, but yeah, this is the Hollywood Foreign Press we're talking about here. Willem Dafoe for Eternity's Gate. Didn't really see much in it, honestly. Willem Dafoe's a great actor, but the film he represented was very bland. It's like the definition of porridge, honestly. Unseasoned porridge. Lucas Hedges and Boy Erased. Again, I kind of see him as another one of those, filler nominations. I actually did see Boy Erased, and Lucas Hedges did steal his show. But, yeah, he hasn't had much of a critical bite this award season, for sure. And then let's get into Best Dramatic Actress, Glenn Close for The Wife. A lot of people were shocked by this win, but I really wasn't, because Glenn Close had been bringing on heat ever since like mid-August for The Wife. And if you haven't checked that out, that's a good underrated movie. And also Jonathan Pryce and Christian Slater are in it. They're fantastic too. But I honestly would have thought Lady Gaga would have won it, given how many publications were praising her performance. And it is a really good performance, to say the least. But Glenn Close, I think, has more seniority in Hollywood, so that's why they probably gave it to her. Also, probably a lot of these people haven't seen A Star Is Born before The Wife. But, we'll see what happens down the Oscar road. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Lady Gaga won the Oscar, too. But, again, Glenn Close and Lady Gaga, that's going to be the feud to watch out for. Nicole Kidman, Destroyer, haven't seen it yet. It hasn't been even released in my area yet, so we'll talk about that once it comes out. Melissa McCarthy, I feel sorry for her. I feel like if it was a less competitive year, she probably would have won. Rosamund Pike for A Private War, haven't seen it, but it seems like a filler nomination to me. All right, let's get into Best Musical or Comedy. Green Book won the award. Honestly, this one was a little hard to imagine it winning the award, given the amount of controversies that this film has been facing over the past few weeks. I would have thought The Favorite would have won, given how much awards success it's had in terms of nominations and wins this season. But interesting that Green Book won. Vice was a total flop, honestly. Besides Christian Bale's win, this film has had no other wins during the Golden Globes. It might not even get nominated for Best Picture because it's so divided amongst critics and fans, but we'll see what happens. Mary Poppins Returns, I thought it would have had more success than it did. Crazy Rich Asians, I haven't seen it. Will at some point, but that film didn't do as well as Warner Bros. Would have hoped it to, honestly, in terms of award success. But yeah, I'm going to save some of my thoughts on the films when I do my Oscar predictions video, which will be at some point. But now let's get into the best motion picture drama. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody. Haven't seen this film, and I'm not planning on seeing it unless it gets an Oscar nomination. And the reason for that is the controversy with Bryan Singer. Again, and and this is what is strange about the Hollywood Foreign Press to me. They claim that they support the Time's Up and Me Too movements, which are very good movements, which I highly recommend following. However, they pick a film that's from a director that has some controversy involving the Me Too movement. So you decide to pick that, not only nominated for one of your highest rated categories, but also for it to win too. And it wasn't even favored to win too. It was like number 5 in terms of like favorability to win amongst the experts or whatever on Gold Derby. So, I mean, I have nothing really against Rami Malek. I have nothing against all the cast members in the film. And yes, Bryan Singer was removed during production. However, his name still stands on the credits for directing. And at least the cast didn't mention him for, when thanking everyone for Bohemian Rhapsody's success. So that's good. They acknowledge it. But shame on the Hollywood Foreign Press for picking a film that they knew had a lot of scandals coming into it on the door. And the fact that Bryan Singer hasn't really acknowledged his past dues in a sense now, to be fair to some of the critics out there, there are allegations out there. So we're not sure if it's technically true or not. But still, I'm going to take the victim's word as truth in this case. That's just my personal opinion here. So I will not see Bohemian Rhapsody unless it gets a Best Picture nomination. Not because I support the film, but because I want to give you guys my best and honest Oscar coverage on the Best Picture category. So in order to do that, I need to see every single film. Even if I end up hating the film, I want to give you guys the best coverage possible. And granted, when I see Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm going to use gift card money for sure. I'm not going to spend my own money for sure. And I probably will never see another Bryan Singer film again in my life. Again, I'm not even there to see him. I'm there to see Rami Malek. But sorry about that little rant right there, but I had to get it out of the way. But BlacKkKlansman, yeah, that's film. I'm sad that this film didn't win Best Drama. It really should have. In fact, BlacKkKlansman, if Beale Street Could Talk, A Star Is Born, or Black Panther, those would have all been amazing picks to win the award. I feel like Black Panther was robbed during the Golden Globes. So was BlacKkKlansman. So was A Star Is Born. So was If Beale Street Could Talk. Like at least A Star Is Born, if Beale Street won a single award during the ceremony. But BlacKkKlansman and Black Panther just got nothing, and that just is such a shame. Both of those films are absolutely amazing. Would highly recommend checking them out. So that is my coverage of this year's Golden Globe nominations. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Have you seen any of the films that were nominated or any of the performances that were, up for contention? Please let me know. Till again, this is Intermission Review signing off, and I'll see you people around.